Welcome back. And I'm now with Myrna Thomas, the youngest daughter of Joseph Thomas, who was the Pantry utility man on the Gulfstag. And they've been with us, the family came with us to celebrate this 55th anniversary of the explosion, fire, and the capsizing of the Gulfstag. Now you were Joseph's youngest child.
Number 6.
Number
There was
6.
7 of us.
Oh, there were 7, so you're almost
I was the baby girl. I'm the baby girl.
Okay.
And I have a younger brother.
And so, but you recall that day when the news had come because the ship just, I think, sailed like late morning,
Yeah.
and then in the middle afternoon, the explosion took
I
place.
think it was morning. It was morning when we got the news.
Okay.
Because I was left out the door. I lived a half a block from the Lamar Elementary,
Mm-hmm.
and I was crossing the street to go to school, and I heard my mother scream.
Oh.
And I ran back home.
Yeah.
And
What was your thought when you heard your mother screaming?
oh, it was scary. It was a scream of death. She cried really, really hard the first 2 days. And I remember her at the foot of her bed on the floor crying so hard. And then whatever it was, they came over her. I guess she realized she had 5 more kids to raise.
Mm-hmm.
She was strong from then on.
Yeah.
I was 10. I had just made 10 years old. I was in the 4th grade. And it was devastating because that was my all in all.
Your daddy?
Yeah, that's what I was telling the young lady. I remember each time his ship docked, we would go pick him up, we'd be all excited. Each time my daddy came home, I had mumps, I had chickenpox, I had measles, I had asthma. He would just sit by my bedside till I fall asleep. That's how I remember. And when the other children wouldn't bring me juice or whatever, he'd fuss at them and make them, wait on me. I would use that. And that's how mostly I remember him.
Mm-hmm. Now, did they rescue his body, and did y'all have a funeral, or was he lost?
They never found his body. They said they had to sink the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And the memorial service was so big. As a child, it was big to me. But I remember having a memorial service at East Mount Olive,
Mm-hmm.
and relatives just came all over. People I didn't even know. My dad had aunts, and rich aunts with furs coming from Florida. I didn't know none of these people. And it was just, it took me a long time. It don't really, a day don't pass. I'll be 65 years old, and a day does not pass that he crosses my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I even had a neighbor of my grandmother said, that she said that my dad left us, abandoned us. And by us not having a body, student. I was so mad with that lady, I punched her. And back then you didn't disrespect your elders, but she was so rude. She lived the house down from my grandmother. She was really an old, rude, messy old lady. And that hurt my feelings.
Of course.
It really did. I said, well, if he did run off, he definitely left us well taken care of.
That's what I was going to ask you after he passed.
Yeah.
Your mom's got 5, 6 kids now.
Yeah, she
But you being number 6, and then there's one even younger than you at that point. Now, had some of your older brothers and sisters already moved off at this point?
my oldest brother,
Okay.
Richard, and my oldest sister, Joe.
Okay, so
So
there
there
were
was 5 of us left. So we did the Social Security thing, but back then, you could stay on Social Security, I think, till you was 22,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you went to college.
Mm.
And as each one of them got off of Social Security, they took that check and split it among the rest of the survivors.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother never worked,
Okay.
and she died at 94.
Wow. How long ago was that?
It's been 6 years.
6 years.
It was 6 years in May that she passed. And I moved back here to take care of my grandmother. And then my mother, then my two brothers passed within the last 3 years. And I'm still in that house. Well, we had another one built on the same property. But I think about my father every day.
How many years did he go to sea?
He was 49 when he died.
So he'd been going to seas
when he was a teenager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he started off as a teenager. I think it was illegal. He had been to ship, on the water so long.
Did he sail during the Second World War?
He was, I think so, because look.
That's 1966?
My mother was born in 1921, and he was like 5 years older than her, 5 or 6 years older than her.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yep. Because I just had this conversation with somebody last night, Ruben Perello, whose dad was a survivor on Texas, Oklahoma, and we had our 45th anniversary class reunion last night. I'm still dealing with the psychological PTSD drama of going to my 45th anniversary of graduation. But I mentioned to him
2,000 hours.
I mentioned to him last night, and but also to you for Joseph, if he sailed during the Second World War, the Maritime Administration has medals for those men who served during that time.
And everything got wet, because I had it all. I still have his pen, his seaman pen. I had the passport, and all of that. I'm have to look in that, because everything got wet.
Okay.
It's in there. My cousin did our.
Oh, great. Well, that'll be a big help.
And I'll let you know what the date is on that.
And I can point you to the website for the Maritime Administration that shows you how to apply as a daughter. Your brother and you, as descendants of him, can receive, if he sailed during the Second World War, between December 41 to like 1946, then on coastwise as well as foreign sailing, that he can qualify for that. But if he was sailing for 20 years, 66, 46.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And if he was anytime in 44, 45, that would be.
Oh, he was definitely sailing before then. I'm telling you that thing, I think it said 14 or 16, about 16.
Yeah, when he started.
When he started.
And it was not unusual at all for guys who wanted to serve, but they were too young to go into the military. And the military would tell them no, but then they could go down to the Merchant Marine, lie about their age. Oh yeah, I'm 18. And get the Merchant Marine document.
Because they had a thing on his draft card, not the draft card, his before the draft,
selective service.
Selective service and the seaman on that ancestry.com.
Oh, good.
So I'll get it.
Well, Myrna, thank you.
It was over 20 years. We don't have to get on that.
We'll get on that. So I really appreciate you taking a moment and sharing this with us.
Thank you very much.
Because your story is the story of really hundreds of young men and women whose primarily fathers, went to sea, served our country as U.S. merchant mariners during the Second World War. We spoke tonight during the prayer service not only about the Gulfstag, but the 7 or 8 Gulf tankers that were attacked during the Second World War, and a couple of hundred seafarers who were killed during enemy action. It's important to keep those things alive. And you coming here this evening and sharing that very, very personal story of the news at your home and the reaction of your mother and what happened to y'all afterwards is really an important part of the oral history of the Merchant Marine in Port Arthur. So thank you so much for being here.
I think I did want to add one thing. I was telling her that Charlie Purnell's daughter, she never knew about, and I shared the pictures with her of the platform. She just cried so much, and I tried to get her to come, and her husband was supposed to bring her today, and he didn't. She was his only child.
Oh.
Just too hard even still. It's too hard for her even still.
It's hard for her even still. And because this was like about 5 months ago. I said I would let her know when they have something. So I'm going to get the address.
Please
We'll
do.
have for next time, hopefully.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be really good, because we had about 7 or 8 addresses that I sent you guys the
My
letter.
brother,
And because I had that address, but the more addresses we have, we'd be happy to send it out, because, yeah, we posted it to Facebook, but I did not find out about my high school reunion until this past
Yeah,
week,
you-
because
Class of 75?
76. We're
I'm
patriotic.
75. We skipped ours last year.
Willie
Well, we
Simon,
counseled it.
Willie Simon and Ben Brown and
Oh,
those
wow.
guys.
We canceled ours last year, so we didn't have it this year, so I want my money back.
Thank you so much, Myrna. God bless everyone for being with us.
Thank you so much.